And I have people around me all of the time who come to me and say, oh my gosh, my affirmations aren't working, or my manifestations aren't working, or my prayers aren't being answered. And every single time that happens, I ask, what have you done in alignment to achieve those things? Did you pick up the shovel? Did you pick up the shovel? Because sometimes people pray massive prayers, or they are looking for, big things to happen in their lives. And they forget that God and the universe can only bless the things that we work towards. So if you are on a journey towards something, you in fact have to take the first step. You have to pick up the shovel.
Hi, welcome to Say More Words, a podcast that was created to emphasize the human experience through stories. I hope that you come here to learn, to expand, and most importantly, learn how to say more words. Speak your story, speak your truth, boo-boo. We're so happy you're here.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's so good to see you. It's so good to be here with you again. Song of the day, before I start talking, the song of the day is Paradise by Bazzi, because please just look at the background today. I'm very relaxed in my clothing if you're listening to this, and the background is Talus Park Golf Course in Naples, Florida. It's very beautiful. It's very serene. It's very demure. It's very mindful. How are y'all? I want to start off by saying thank you for coming back after the break. When life gets crazy, I love putting breaks in the schedule. Let's start with that. Okay. So I love when putting breaks in the schedule, but life can get busy and it can get kind of crazy. And I was talking with my team and they're like, do you want to try and mass record some videos, or should we actually go on a true break? And it was super important to me. Like, it took me a while to think about it. And it was just super important for me to actually have a break inside of our scheduling, because it shows you that I practice what I preach. And I truly did break during this time. This back to school season has been crazy. Business is awesome and wonderful and growing and big. And so I really needed the space to pause. And, I preach it to you, and it would be inauthentic if there weren't pauses in my space as well. And so there's your pause. So welcome back. Thank you for being here. I hope that you had a good last couple of weeks. Like I said, I am in Naples, Florida. I am doing a little bit of R&R. I am recording this in September of 2024, and it is my busy travel season. Every fall is busy travel because I'm flying all over the country to train teams and individuals and speak on stages about mindset and personality and organization and routine and all of that. And so it's busy, but I am so very thankful that my friend Lacey, her season is the busy season of September as well. And we had a weekend that lined up that both of us, we were traveling, but we could meet in Naples at the same time. And so we're having kind of a working, relaxing, eating good food, having good drinks weekend together. So that's why Talus Park is behind me. It's my beautiful background for today. Today, I wanted to talk about picking up the shovel. This episode is called Picking Up the Shovel. And if the title caught you, that's good. If you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Because you aren't very garden-y, if we would say. Tamika, you're not very garden-y, and that's very true. I work in the realm of affirmations and manifestations. You know this. I believe in prayer. If you are new here, know that I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I believe in manifesting in the universe and the power of all things and energy. And it's never my purpose on this planet to make you believe in something that you don't believe in. So you can take this in whatever way and whatever aligns with your own personal beliefs, or your own spiritual beliefs, I should say. But those are the things that I believe in. And I have people around me all of the time who come to me and say, oh my gosh, my affirmations aren't working, or my manifestations aren't working, or my prayers aren't being answered. And every single time that happens, I ask, what have you done in alignment to achieve those things? Did you pick up the shovel? Did you pick up the shovel? Because sometimes people pray massive prayers, or they are looking for, big things to happen in their lives. And they forget that God and the universe can only bless the things that we work towards. So if you are on a journey towards something, you in fact have to take the first step. You have to pick up the shovel. You have to walk in the first step. You have to go towards, you have to do something every day, the next right thing, every single day to go towards the thing that it is that you want. Because if you don't move, the universe and God have nothing to bless. And sometimes that's kind of hard to hear. Sometimes it's really hard, especially when you're in a busy season and you're doing all these things and you're like, oh, nothing's coming true. But then you realize you're just kind of stuck in the mundane, or you're stuck in habits, or you're stuck in routine, or even the shovel may have been delivered to you and you're like, oh, I don't have enough time for that. No, it's just life is too cluttered. I don't know how I could possibly figure it out. That's something I hear from people all the time. How do I figure it out? Oftentimes, we are given signs, we are given shovels, we are given the first right step to take, but we are so inundated by our everyday lives that we don't act on those things. I want you to think back on a time in which that's happened to you, where you're like, I could be so much further if I had responded to X, Y, Z. And I'm going to tell you, you will be able to find this because you are #human. Like, it's just part of it. You're human. You will find something. And think back and reflect. What were the first signs? I call them God winks, universe nudges, where you're like, oh, if I would have just followed that path. But instead, maybe you got stuck, like I said, in the mundane of life, or in complaining. Or one of my favorite things right now is, I love a good TikTok and a good meme. And there's a TikTok that came up this morning as I was in my uh, mindless activity time where I'm just mindlessly scrolling. And a meme came up and it's two cats. And it was like, hey, God, can you send me a man or a good man? And God's like, I did. And she's like, well, that one was only 5'6". And then it's like the cat hitting the other cat. It's like, oh, I wanted that, but not the way that you gave it to me. I wanted that adventure, but not in the way that you were willing to give it to me. I wanted that blessing, but I didn't want to work for it, actually. I just wanted it to be handed to me, or I didn't want to go in that direction, or I didn't want to do that uncomfortable thing. Because sometimes the shovel that you have to pick up is to dig through the discomfort so that you can become the person who is capable of getting the manifestation that you want, of getting the prayer answered that you want, so that you can be the version of you that whatever it is that you're looking for, you can be the person who works towards it. You can be the person who brings it in. And so I just want you to think back on the times in the past and kind of think in your space now, what am I being nudged to? What can't I stop thinking about? What is showing up? What discomfort am I being presented with regularly that I really need to work through in order to get to this place where I can be the version of me that can move on to the next level? What shovels are you ignoring? What next steps? What discomfort? Sit in that space. What is it? What are you saying yes to that you shouldn't be? What are you saying no to that you shouldn't be? I will tell you that in this weekend, in this space, we took the 2-week break, pausing on the podcast, but obviously business and life still went on. And I just went and trained a team in South Carolina, which was lovely and wonderful and so expansive. And there were so many things this week that went against me coming to Naples after my training. And there was just so many ways in which I could have said, no, I'm not coming. My son got sick. Crazy things were happening in business. A lot of people needed me. I have a conference next week. There's just lots of things in place. And my husband even said, No, you have to go because it's been so long since you've done something just for you. Well, here's the thing about me. I love to work. I love to be busy. I love to travel. I love to do all of these things. But I also, I love to pause, but I refuse to give myself that space sometimes. And so there were so many times during this week where I was feeling discomfort in coming to this space, in coming to having time to, just hammer out some emails, but also sit and watch trash TV with my friend and have really good conversations and talk through business things, but also talk through life and eat really good. We're going to go have some really good food and go out by the water and do all these things. And my soul needed this, but it was uncomfortable to continuously say yes to it. And now that I'm here, I fully believe that in this space, this pause is giving me the foundation that I need to become the person who's going to handle the last 90 days of this year. But it was uncomfortable, even though I'm loving my time here right now. Like, I'm loving it. It's beautiful. The weather is great. It's sunny. It's Florida, so I am dewy and glossy and wonderful. Stella's just, we're going to give her a pass. Okay. Stella and Florida don't get along, but that's okay. She's still cute. I digress. This space was necessary. It was the shovel I needed to pick up. It was the space. It was the time. It was the experience. It was the time with my friend. It's the good food. It's the conversation. It's the rejuvenation I need to be the next person. But there were so many times where I wanted to say no to it. So many times where I wanted to just change my tickets, back out, and go home. But I didn't. And because I stayed forward on this pausing path, I know I'm going to be blessed, and my manifestations, my prayers, and the things that are coming next are going to be fulfilled fully, wholly, and wonderfully moving forward. So I want you to think about, what shovel are you refusing to pick up? What first step are you refusing to take? What pause you might need, and what uncomfortable thing that you should be working on right now to get you to that next level. Your manifestations are working. Your prayers are being heard. It's just you have to take that first step. And sometimes that first step is uncomfortable. But we're here with you. Okay? You're not ever truly alone. You're not. So if you're in an uncomfortable spot, or maybe you're having uncomfortable thoughts with your thoughts about yourself, in which we need to work on some affirmations and some limiting belief work. But if any of that's happening, reach out. My email is at the bottom of every single podcast episode. If you need some help, reach out. There are resources for you. You are not alone on this path, and your manifestations can come true. You are worthy of all of your manifestations and your prayers coming true. You're worthy of this space. You're worthy of expansion. You're worthy of abundance and prosperity, because it is truly your human right. It's time for you to believe it, and it's time for you to take the first step. Pick up the shovel. Let me know what comes true from this, from you. What manifestation comes true? What prayer comes true from you taking the next right step or picking up the shovel? Okay, friends? And with that, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of this beautiful pause, this rejuvenation time. And I can't wait to share with you what comes from it. Okay? I love you. Mean it.